Okay, now, since we have done chart of accounts and retained earnings accounts, now we'll move to the next steps, and that is the ledger settings that are more important and that are usually asked during interviews. And it is a technical area. Let's first go and assign field status variants to our company code. And what are field status variants? That we'll see when we start journal entries. AOOGL, and we don't have a field status variant. So what we'll do, we'll just go with the standard one, which is 0001 supplied by SAP. And okay, ledger. And now next is ledger, but before we actually attempt to configure that, let's first discuss fiscal year variant. Fiscal year variant, what is a fiscal year? What is a fiscal year variant? Basically, it is the framework, the time framework for posting and reporting of your fiscal year using the months. So through January to December, your financial statements will follow this calendar year, which is January, December. April to March or March to April is not a calendar year. January to December is a calendar year. Okay. So every company has to follow a fiscal year variant. Some companies in some parts of the world follow a different pattern. Okay. Some companies will go from July to June. That is their fiscal year variant. In Americas, it's January to December. Okay. Save it. Next is related to this is posting period variants. Okay. Over here, OOGL is our company code, and this is all assigned at the company code level, AA42. This is one template that we have made. I'll just show what that template is. I'll just save it. Okay. And open and close posting periods. AA42 was a template that we have made. And that basically is, this is how it is laid out. It is allowing us to pass transactions, line items, journal entries, and automatic entries through period 1 of 2024 to the 12th month 2024. Now this follows the fiscal year. And our fiscal year starts from January to December. But if it was July to June, then this was July, and this was the June of next year. Okay. So since we have AA42, this is a template already made. What I'll just do is I'll make it 2025 and five. Now, what is 13 and 16? Let me just first save it. And what I'll do, I'll keep my cursor anywhere, Control Y, so it becomes this catching symbol. I'll capture this, highlight it, Control C, and define variants, new entries, OOGL, posting period variant, OOGL, save, 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 assign variance to company code. Now we'll change it from AA42. So why am I changing it? Because we'll keep our coding WGL the same and synchronized. Okay. Now this is a necessary step before you start attempting the front end. Open and close posting periods. WGL, it will be empty. Okay. So new entries, Control V. So it actually copies everything. So I can also change this to 2025, but I don't need it right now. Because 13 to 16 are extra provisions and windows for adjustments, reconciliations, for year-end journal entries, for missing invoices, okay, for bank entries, for transactions that were not recorded during the whole year, for depreciation, for unplanned depreciation. These are the entries that are then placed using these special periods. So save and save. Okay, now what is plus ADKMS? Now this is basically plus means it covers all the submodules. And what are submodules? A is that is asset, customers, vendors, material, and S is GL. Okay, so plus means it contains all of this. So during the year, if you have departments, sub-departments, or subdivisions in our finance department, then asset can be closed from for a certain month. For example, if the 12th month has to be closed, then we'll open this 13 and 16, okay, for special transactions. Rest of the month, rest of the submodules can be closed as well. But it's up to us. For materials, we'll have a different way of passing entries during the year. Okay, so go back. It is now saved. Next part is ledger. Define settings. This is important. Wait. Okay. Now in SAP, there can be multiple ledgers, but only one principal ledger can lead the whole landscape, and that is called the leading ledger, made by SAP itself, and only one leading ledger can exist. It cannot be replaced. Okay. Other than that, there can be standard ledgers and extension ledgers. Now, extension ledgers are a part of the standard ledger. It copies extension ledger copies the entries of a standard ledger. So why do we need these ledgers? For valuations. Now, what are valuations? We'll discuss that, but right now, so if our accounting principles are different, or if our company is working in different jurisdictions or countries, then we can have reporting in another ledger. Or if we want different currencies to be reported, then we can have another ledger. For valuations, now what are valuations? There are three types of valuations. And valuation is legal, group, profit center, and segmentation. Okay. So I'll select this. So for valuation as well, we can have a different set of ledgers. Do not make any changes because this is SAP entry leading ledger. So leading ledger is SAP's own product. Okay, enter. Now over here, we'll search for our company code, WGL. And that over here, we have currency types, global currency, we'll define global currency ahead. Then we have 8 different provisions or windows for currencies. So we can report transactions in 8 different currencies, okay? And then we have fiscal year variants already assigned, posting period variant already assigned, parallel accounting activated, first financial currency is 10. We can change it or we can add more. We'll just see that. Double click. Okay. Counting principle gap functional currency is 10. Now that is operational currency. Okay. Gap is gap. Okay. Save. Come on. So it gets slow sometimes. Now, how do we add more currencies to our reporting? That is the next step. Oh. For that, we go for currency types. We have to define currency types. Then we have global currency conversion settings, but currency conversion settings for company code are stored and configured over here. Over here, what we'll do is we'll search for OOGL, which I believe will not be there. Okay, it is not there. Okay, new entries, company code OOGL. Currency type will be Y1. Now, this is a variant we have created. GBP. Source currency will be 00. Exchange rate type will be the day's rate, which is average rate. We have bank buying rate and we have book selling rate or bank selling rate, cost planning, okay, and interest rate exchange rate type, historical exchange rate. So we actually use the day's rate, which is average rate, okay. And then on what date will it be translated? Posting date, not document date, not any other date, but posting date. When the document gets posted, I'll add this, enter. This is reporting currency, standard translation. GBP is the new currency added. Right now we have AED as the company code currency. Save. Okay, now we have Y1 already added. So I'll go for ledger. 0L company code. I'll go back one step. Okay, over here, I'll just pass on WGL. And over here, I'll add the Y1. Now I have the currency AED, which is represented with 10, and I have Y1. Okay. Do you really want to add currency? Yes. Okay, now that is done. Now we want to add this global currency as well. Now global currency is for group level currency that we can say. Save changes, yes. Next part is I haven't spoken of the valuation part yet. That will be covered later, which that is group value, legal valuation, group valuation, and profit center valuation. Come on. Okay, now we'll discuss parallel valuation later on, but the next important step is now controlling. Very important step. Okay. Without this, your configuration is not complete. Organization, maintain controlling area, maintain controlling area. New entries. Now, new entries. Now, what is controlling area? I'll discuss that later on, but let's first configure it. WOGL. So it will copy all the details of the company. And over here, we'll change it to 30 and USD. Required fields. Okay. WOGL, this is cost center standard hierarchy. This is necessary. FS version is financial statement version. I'll take a default INT. We can make it later on and change it. It is asking for the standard hierarchy to be made. I say yes. So now you have a group currency and it is a different currency. So we have UAE dirhams, USD, and GBP as reporting currencies. Okay. Now, 30. I'll speak of this later on again. Again, if I click on this, new entries, 2025 cost centers will be active. Order management active, activity type active, commitment manager, okay. Active for parallel calculation, variances, save, save. But there is a next step as well, which remains. Okay, next step is this folder, copy, sorry, new entry, WOGL. Now it gets integrated with the controlling area. So the hierarchy is that multiple company codes will report to controlling area. So controlling area has a higher precedence, okay, higher authority. You can say that only if the company code has the same chart of accounts and fiscal year variant as configured for controlling area, which is basic data, chart of accounts, and fiscal year variant. Okay. Only then multiple company codes can be configured and integrated with the controlling area. That is okay. Now that we have done this, now let's see whether this got added to our ledger 0L or not. For that, fin sc underscore ledger.